My name is Tori, and this is my mommy.
Yes, it is. And I was blessed to have this beautiful child back in 2001. And there is nothing but blessings from it. My seizures increased. However, I thank God every day for her. And actually, even for the increase in seizures, it's one big thing is that it helped me find Jesus. And Tori here has been just such an amazing blessing to me. She's just full of smiles and laughter, and she's just a very good kid. And he knows what I can handle and what I can't, especially being a seizure patient. She's seen me actually have many seizures, some at a certain age where at least she doesn't remember, but later and still today, she still does. But she's got such a heart of gold and such strength through him that she just understands. And now today, she had her first seizure when she was 2 years old, brought on by a high fever. And actually, that was my first one too, brought on by a high fever. And hers was, though, like a complex partial. It was very odd. It was a very high fever. And when we took her in to have the testing done, the EEG did not show epilepsy, signs. So I refused to have her medicated. I've been through some medication wars. So we went 4.5 years without medication, praise God. And she's a bright kid. She's a great kid. And so her seizures started to set in, the absence seizure type, when she was 6.5. She had been doing gymnastics just prior, and this is where I tell you it's a God thing. She stopped. It was just a couple months later when they set in. And she doesn't get the auras prior to her absence seizures like I used to. So she wouldn't know to get off the balance beam. She would just have one, and it would have been dangerous. So that was just God's hand on her. But she's had them now since 6.5, and she's 8 today. And she's on the same medication, and it's only been increased once this year. And Tori,
Yes.
how do you like your medication?
Well, it doesn't really taste that good, but I kind of like it because it helps me not to do stuff like stare, have seizures. It's kind of hard to have seizures because
Do you ever feel like you're embarrassed if you have one?
not really, but I feel scared
Well, that's
sometimes.
understandable. And I would rather be scared, and that's exactly how mommy was. That's funny. When I was a kid, it's scary. I actually remember in the second grade having one on recess, and Mrs. Faree holds my hand, and she just walks me back to class from recess. But my friends always just took me in, and no one pointed, and no one, laughed because I was always just open about it. And Tori here, I'm so proud, is very open about it, and um, her her teacher, Mrs. Quatrocki, from the same grade I'm talking about, second grade last year, she had just this little conference she decided to set up to discuss with the class about epilepsy. And I heard, Tori, you did a fabulous job. You basically sat up there and just told them what it's about and what it feels like and
What it looks like.
what it looks like, and basically just letting your friends know if anything ever happens. How'd that feel for you?
It felt pretty good when I speeched out. It makes me feel good inside me, not icky, because usually I want people to know what it looks like and what it feels like to have a seizure and stuff.
It's true. And there are moments I wish that the doctor could just feel it, just one time. Not actually, have any epilepsy, but just same thing with medications. You know, they know all the statistics and everything on the medications, but they, you know, to actually take it for 4 weeks, and then they would begin to understand what it's really like. And the same thing goes for having a seizure. You know, people can read about it, but to actually have one, it's a different story, isn't it? I mean, we can talk about it, but people to actually have it, or any other illness out there. And I reach out to all of you as well, because any illness is tough. But the big thing is that, you know, there's a reason for everything, and God totally sees us through. My little Tori here, the reason her medication was even increased this year was because she had pneumonia, didn't she?
Yep, and a rash.
What kind of rash?
I know.
I know. They really didn't either. Started, what, on this arm?
Yeah, this arm, like, on the hand, like, right here.
Yeah, it was like about your wrist.
It was like kind of on my wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Then it got worse and worse.
We thought it was a bug bite first.
Yeah, we thought it was a bug bite, but it wasn't. It was a rash.
And then it just went, well, no, it went in a few spots, and then we went to her doctor, didn't we? And he's a great doctor.
Dr. Patel.
Yes, Dr. Patel, great doctor. We went to see Dr. Patel and gave a couple prescriptions for this rash.
And he gave me the breathing thing, whatever it's called.
Asthma, right, it's an allergy that you get. And so we went forward, you know, we went home, but then all of a sudden, not joking, about
It just
10
went,
minutes.
it just killed me.
Well, it didn't kill you.
Well, it didn't kill me, it was gobbling me up.
Spread everywhere, gobbling your body. And I will send pictures, actually, just to let you know, and along with the EEG she had, but it just was an unbelievable rash. But just prior to it, ironically, because she was going to be sick, immune systems are amazing with epilepsy. Your immune system drops and you have seizures. And hers really dropped, and she was having some odd seizures prior, and just kept questioning, well, they'll go away. That's what's really made me stressed. Some stuff in school and everything.
I had a falling seizure.
Well, and so during the illness, when the rash got really bad before we went to the hospital, she had one of those drop attacks, which just don't happen in our family, and it's just scared me just berserk. So I called 911, and 911 came and took us to Phoenix Children's Hospital, which I'm not a big 911 person, but, you know, I'm an epileptic. I couldn't drive, and I couldn't take care of her and drive at the same time. It was pretty scary for both of us, but we got there and wound up being some really odd virus of pneumonia and some odd rash, and then from that point on, her seizures just kind of got a little bit worse. Not much, but still at a dose where her Zerontin is still liquid, because we can't, it's still not high enough dose to take the pill. So it's, you know, it's just a blessing, and I pray every day that it does go away. Mine didn't, but she's on a pretty low dose, and it's very well controlled. And I thank God for that every day. Mine never was, so she's definitely a gift from God to me. And, you know, I mean, doesn't God work in your life through it?
Very much. I thank God every day for what He does. And for people out there who doesn't believe in God and who are watching these videos of me and my mom, trust God, because He's done things that are amazing for me and Mom.
All of us, very much. And Dad, even watching us and taking care of us, too. He does a great job. You know, you coming up and seeing me in the hospital so many times, you're a very strong little girl, and I thank you so much.
Can I tell the story when I had trouble breathing?
You know, not on this one because we've got 20 seconds. So we just want to say we love you.
And please believe in God.
Very much. But if you're sick, if you have epilepsy, just send me a message on Twitter. Epilepsy Cures. And we love you. And God bless.